Okay, do you guys see the little record button?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Is that better now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I don't know, have you guys heard from Clayton at all?
No. I mean, he sent me an email saying that he got an extension on task 2, but I don't see where he submitted it, or he hasn't told me he's done it or not.
And that's the same with me. And I told her that I had switched to reviewing him from Jakia, and I have a 0 in there for his peer review right now. That I told her.
Did you get a 0 for it too, Kayla?
Yeah, she just said that when he submits it, like, to tell him to let us know and that it won't count against us. But we'll just have to make sure we go back and do it.
Whenever he does.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess do you guys just want to talk about our peer reviews, and then I guess he can just, I don't really know what we're supposed to do if he doesn't show up. I mean, I guess, or we could talk about his too in the video. Did you guys peer review his first task?
I did not.
I did his first one, yeah.
Okay, so maybe we can include just like that part of it in there. That way you don't have to re-Zoom with him again about it.
Okay.
Because I can send him the link after we finish. So let's talk about task 1 first. Let me get it up. So do you guys care to host, or how do we want to do this?
Well, before we start, can you all help me? So I'm trying to get onto like the server because I don't have like the icon for the email downloaded, and I always like go to the website and click on Web Connect and then sign in, and then you have access to like the email or Blackboard or whatever. But when I go to Gardner Webb's website and click on Web Connect to like log in, it downloads this PDF about how to like connect to their wireless internet, which I've never done that anyways. Is there another way to get on to like, I figured out the Blackboard link, but I can't, when I just try to sign into Microsoft Office, it's not letting me, and all my stuff is saved on there.
I'm logged into Web Connect without any problem, just like normal tonight. I don't know.
So weird.
Yeah, I did too. Hold on, let me see if I can back out and like send you the original page. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Let me see if, oh, but that's not on my, okay. So you can't access your email right now? You said?
No, like the only way I could get on Blackboard was to remember like the Blackboard.gardnerweb.edu thing, which it took me a minute to like figure that out. But then even on Blackboard, I've been trying to like find a link to the email, but I can't.
So you just don't, so, okay, wait. So you can't get onto Blackboard at all?
Yeah, I'll show you. Listen, I'll turn this camera around. Sorry, I got a new phone and I do not know how to use it yet. Switch. Okay, so when I go to Gardner Web, I normally click here to get onto their like server. But when I do that now, it opens up this PDF that looks like this. That is attention students. This is how you get on the wireless gaming devices guest. And it has no information on like how to make this link that used to work. I mean, when you sign on, how do you sign on?
Same way, but mine's working.
I don't go there because mine stopped working too, but mine stopped working a couple weeks ago. So I just go like straight to Blackboard.
Okay. So when you want to check your email, how do you go there?
My student email?
Yeah.
I got it forwarded to my school email, so I never go on the Gardner Web email anymore.
Oh, that is so intelligent.
Kayla, have you tried to clear your history and your cache on your browser?
No, but that's a great idea because you see how many tabs I have open up all the time.
It may be something as simple as that.
Yeah, these tasks and all this research is killing me. Okay. I'm going to try that. Let's see. Maybe that'll work. But I need this hand too. So if one of you all want to go first, I'll try to find my stuff.
I don't care.
I don't either.
Want to go first?
I can either way.
Okay, you go ahead.
So we're just going to talk about the people that we reviewed, right?
Yeah, I think, and I guess just elaborate on like what you sent. I'm guessing.
First off, I had Jakia, so I guess there's no reason to talk about her since she's no longer with us. But I had Deanna's task one. And overall, I thought it was very good. I thought she had all her sources. That she did a good job researching the PLC concept. I didn't see any glaring weaknesses. I did comment, from a grammar standpoint, I am not a savvy still. That's going to be, I'm really having issues even to this point as far as how the site and get figures and stuff into documents. But overall, I thought it was good. Looked professional, organized. It was easy to follow. And again, I think you do a much better job with your visual evidence than I do. I'm jealous. So.
What do you mean, inputting it? Like inputting
just create. First off, I guess being math, you probably with charts and representation are probably ahead of the game there a little bit. But yeah, I've struggled. With the data and coming up with charts and how to use them. So,
yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm struggling on this mightily. I haven't even finished 3 yet. So.
Well, I finished task 3, but I'm gonna tell you what, it's rough. So I totally understand it. Honestly, the charts, like sometimes I feel like the ones that I'm making don't look as professional. So I appreciate you saying that because
I think you've done a good job in both.
Thank you.
All
right, well, I guess I'll and give you your feedback. So on task 1, I thought you did a really good job as well. The only thing that I was suggesting was, your baseball analogy. Just making sure that, because like sometimes you went back and forth to hour. So just
I went back and revised it. I went back and revised it to the candidate in his coaching.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So that was like the biggest thing that I saw was just making sure of that, which has been really hard for me too, because I'll slip that stuff in and then I'll have to go back and reread and make sure that it's all in third person.
When we get to test, are we not going to be able to use I when we get to task 5 or?
Yeah, I think it's all got to be the candidate and in third person again. So it's going to be a challenge.
That's going to be a challenge to me.
Yeah. And then the only other thing that I commented on was your APA in that one, like the citations at the end. But other than that, that was it. So if you checked your third person and your APA in that first one, then I think that first one was good. All right, so Kayla, did you get in?
I know it's like one to lock up. It's got a lot to clear apparently. I'm not looking at that template or whatever, but just thinking about yours, the first one, I remember commenting how like some of the things you said really kind of stuck out in regards to ideas for our school and how mathematics and data is approached. There was some places where I remember just wording of things, but overall, I mean, it looked very well written. I'm not an APA master yet, so a lot of the things I said was, I think this is supposed to be like this. One thing in particular is if it's more than 40 characters, you have to like do that box, a box quote. I've just figured out how to do that, but in regards to like suggestions to make it better, that was really the only thing that really stuck out to me as something to go back and do.
Okay.
Has anybody tried like Perla or any of these softwares where you can just enter it in and it formats it for you supposedly?
No, I've been using Citation Machine for my references.
The first time I started this, they suggested Perla, which you typed it in, your information, and it pretty much converted it to APA for you, but I think there's a charge for it now. But
oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that would be nice to have something like that.
Right?
That's honestly, like, I wonder, that's what concerns me the most is, like, I don't want to get dinged for something simple of that you just missed.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't know, we're recorded, but my sister has been through the portfolio process and tasking all, and I've read some of her stuff. And if they let her through,
Right.
Let's see. I'm looking at yours, Kayla, and I did most everything I wrote. Like, I wrote a lot on the first one, it looked like, for you, but it was all like APA stuff. So,
yeah.
And I don't know, like, I mean, some of it I was confident on, so I commented on it, but other stuff, like, I didn't comment on because I wasn't sure. But yeah, that's really all I saw on that was I was just commenting on your APA, and that was it. Everything else looked great.
I have figured out how to do something really in regards to writing. I had one of my friends who's working on his doctorate show me, but there's a setting in Word where after you do like your spell check, it tells you like what grade level it's written at. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Well, it'll hurt your feelings the first time you do it. It's like, wow. Okay, but I've gotten to where now before I like turn anything in, I like check it, and then if it's not, you know, at least a 13, I go back and try to up my verbiage or the readability or whatever. Maybe after we get done recording, I'll open a Word and tell you what to click on. But it's been very helpful. And I got a better grade on this last one than I did the first two. And I think that's the only reason is because maybe it's because I wrote so much because I did it wrong the first time. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that I would love to know how to do that because I definitely struggle with verbiage sometimes. So that'd be great.
It's acting like it's wanting to work, but okay, let's see. Open sesame. So should we do our friends who are not here, or what do you think?
I mean, you could throw Clayton's out if you want to, or we could save it for later. It's up to you, whatever you think.
Why don't you talk about it that way, and then we can send him the link, and he has it.
Okay. Clayton's the first one. I mean, honestly, it seemed like he was kind of familiar with APA because there wasn't really anything that I noticed. But then again, it was the first one, so I really haven't learned, you know, I haven't gone back to read it since then. But it was just some parts were kind of difficult just the way he worded things, it almost kind of seemed like he was implying something. And he would say things like, research says, or everyone knows, or something like that, without like giving any kind of reference. So I remember commenting, is this from you, or is this kind of be specific here, or don't make those big statements that seem like they're research based. But other than that, that was the only thing that I really commented on his. He had all the components that he needed for task 1. I say that, but then no, that's not true. He was missing the last part. And I don't know. And I said, where is, I forget the title of whatever that last part was, but I know that he was affected by that hurricane because he's on the East Coast. So where they had that PLC meeting, I didn't know if he had not had it, and that's why that wasn't there, or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he hadn't led his PLC meeting at that point. And
Yeah.
I think if you miss that initial step, you're probably really kind of struggling to catch back.
Yeah, I agree.
I actually, like I said, I started this program before, and I actually I was a district PLC coordinator for career and technical education in our county. I thought I was going to be able to use that, and it did not work very well. And that was part of my just, maybe it's the right time to do it. I kind of fell behind too with the same.
So did you finish this course, or you have to like start all over?
I withdrew before. And it was the first semester they were, I think, actually doing the APSL.
Okay.
Get introduced, and they had a new professor or head chairman, Dr. Neal, who was bringing it in, and it was kind of raw. It wasn't very well put together at that time. But I think I made the right decision. They seem a little more, I mean, it definitely seems a lot more clear to me now what they're trying to do. I mean, just the dispositions that Dr. Bullis talked about tonight. I can remember Dr. Neal talking for 2 hours straight on a PowerPoint about dispositions, and so I said where he was going with it. It was horrible.
Yeah.
That definitely, it's hard when it's not organized, but I feel like right now, I mean, even though sometimes I still don't know what I'm doing, like I feel like at least they kind of have laid it out better. Like they're trying to give you a bunch of helpful hints.
It's better, and it's really the APSL. I think they've really front end loaded it here, because before it didn't have to be done this quickly, and I think it gives you time to get something down on paper and go back and make those revisions and stuff as necessary.
Right.
Then.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Task 2.
Task 2.
Again, I've only seen Deanna's, and again, I thought she did a great job. Good job incorporating her graphical representation. The only thing I saw, I thought that the headings and subheadings varied a little bit from the original template for the layout. I forget exactly how they were. I think you had 3 headings, but I think there were 4. They were kind of broken down a little differently in the template. And then I didn't see any citation of your sources or references for your.
Yeah, I totally forgot to put that in the whole.
Other than that, again, it was very easy to follow. I mean, the graphics and stuff went with. So I thought it was very good.
I can piggyback on that. The way you represented data was amazing. It's a lot more detailed than what I did. The references, I think I commented that, yeah, where is this? I didn't catch the headings, so good job with that. And then there was, when you say, like, as you can see below in figure 1, maybe like changing that to like as shown in figure 1 below or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, that was really kind of like the only thing that really stuck out.
Mm-hmm. I have a question for you guys with how you, because I actually redid my order of task 2 and moved like, because I felt like I had all my figures at the end of that, and it was kind of confusing. Like I felt like you had to scroll a lot. So I put more like a couple sentences explaining a figure, and then I put that figure afterwards, and then I like went down and explained a little bit, and then put that figure in. Is that what you guys did for it to make it easier?
No, I think it was like a separate. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. So the first part's like a narrative where you're just kind of like talking about all the numbers, how you did, and then the second part, like task 2, was you were supposed to give like a little blurb about, and this is the chart below is the EOG data for whatever years or whatever, and then you just attach it. So you don't have any of kind of walking them through it. It's just, this is what I talked about up there.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to look at that again, because I don't know. I don't know if I left it completely separate. I can't remember what I did now, because now I'm getting confused, I think, with task 3 too. So it's been a little while. Matthew, the only thing, so I didn't put any like evidence in mine. So that was one thing that they commented on mine, that I needed to include, like, I don't know, PLC minutes or something to like prove that like we had met. So I just added that on actually to both of yours, to just add like some kind of PLC minutes or something as proof for your meeting, since they said that to me. Other than that, Matthew, that was all I really said about yours. I thought yours was really interesting with your ACT work queue scores, because yours was really detailed on, you know, the different levels. Like, and I know there's lots of different levels, but like we don't have that many kids that do the ACT work queue, so it was kind of interesting to see that breakdown. And how you like describe that and explain that.
It's funny because like as I've started, I don't really have an option to implement my principle and expects us to implement this now and do something about it. I'm still gathering more data. Like I did just this week, I've got all the kids that are going to be tested this week, and he's actually decided we're going to move it up from the spring to right before Christmas testing. Wow. So I've really got to kind of come up with a plan. But anyway, at our school, we have 205 seniors. Of the 205 seniors, almost 160 of them have completed a CTE cluster and will be testing this time. So, over 75% of our senior class will be tested this time. That's the most we've ever had. It's right around 100, about half of them. But our numbers dropped in CTE around the same time. In fact, I left for 3 years and went to a career academy and taught at a career academy in our county before I came back. But our numbers dropped, so we really started promoting these career academies, and they can get a cord and so forth at graduation. And I think that's the biggest thing that I have to do with the work keys is go back and build value in it for these kids and promote it. It's just, I think a lot of them, we ask them about it and they just don't know what we're talking about, even though it's just another test that they're going to take, and they don't know it doesn't count a grade right now. They don't understand the value in it. So we're going to try to promote it, and we're going to do some practice tests and so forth, and target certain areas. But then we saw that we had 160 kids taking it, so I don't know. We may end up doing a school-wide type intervention. We have some like study hall or advisory time that we can use to do it too. So
one thing that we had done, which we don't have enough kids doing it now to do it, but I know like a couple of years ago we had quite a few that did do it, and they did like almost like a boot camp for all the kids that were going to test for like a day or two before. Like they allowed those kids to go through a boot camp to kind of practice and not cram for it, but get like a little bit of practice in for like, tricks and stuff. So that would be something that you could present to your school, maybe to do something like that.
Right. And I thought it was strange, 2 years ago, up until 2 years ago, our career development coordinator was doing it. They were promoting it and they were more involved with these kids on a daily basis. Well, it was turned over to the assistant principals for testing, and they just have so much going on. There's not a lot of promotion, or it was kind of just another test now. So hopefully, if we can get more involved again. I just thought 25% was a big drop in 5 years.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Another thing we're going to do, of course, see, I don't understand now. I've already presented data, but my principal keeps coming to me with more stuff. He wants me to pull all the juniors that took the ACT last year, see what because he projects certain scores that correlate with the work case. So he wants me to pull those and identify the ones that aren't projected to score silver or higher, and differentiate, try to make something for them. So into just a lot more work, but hey,
yeah,
hey, isn't it?
That's why my task 3 is not done. I'm kind of jealous that some people are on fall break this week. I'd like to have this week to work on mine, but
I can't work on my task 4. I can't even start it until next week, really. I mean, I've got some of it done, but the hard part.
Yeah, because you can't meet with your PLC.
And I've never wanted a sports season to end so quick, so I can have more time in the evenings too. I'm ready for season to be over.
And it's so hot. I don't know how y'all are still playing. It's like I didn't want to go outside today.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And a lot of the feedback, I mean, we're talking about APA, and I was going to tell Deanna this earlier. Your comments, for example, on my first task were nearly identical to Dr. Bullis, even down to what needed to be done APA citation-wise. A couple examples you used were the same ones he pulled. I thought it was kind of very similar. So
well,
you know a little bit of what you're talking about with APA.
Well, the only reason I do it is because everything I had to turn in was that, like my last 2 years of college. And I mean, it's been a while, but I remember some of it, but it's because we're in a different edition. It's kind of.
I probably did use some, but I'm probably a few years. I'm about 20 years removed from college, so.
Yeah.
Going back, it's a little different.
I admire it because there's no way. If I wasn't doing it right now, I would just not do it. I would probably say forget it if I wasn't doing it right now.
Right.
Kayla, the only thing that I had for yours on the peer review for task 2 was that same thing that I mentioned for Matthew, was just the evidence. And that was it.
Yeah, Todd said the same thing. I was like, I didn't realize we were supposed to do it for every PLC. Yeah, I did it for the first one.
Are you guys putting in the appendix? Are you putting every agenda for every PLC that you? Or?
I guess I am now. I mean.
Yeah.
Will they all go in the same? I mean, how would you do that? Would they all? I guess that all appendix A would be agendas. I don't know, or do they go based on the order that they happen? I don't know.
I am not really sure because, I mean, I have one working document for our PLC that's like all the minutes. So like it's almost like a table, and then I have the minutes for every meeting, and then I have the dates next to it. But I almost wonder if I'm going to have to separate that out because it seems like now they want it to be for everything, and I didn't realize that either. So, I mean, I think, though, if it has to be separate, I think you would have to label it like Appendix A, Appendix B, Appendix C, I think, which means then we're going to have to go back into every paper when we put it all in one and relabel our lettering.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
Would Appendix A at the very end of the entire document just be agendas, and then Appendix B be?
Well, I know task 4, just like looking ahead at it, it like strongly encourages you to videotape it. And if you don't videotape it, if you take like a picture, you have to have like a sign-in sheet where all the members signed it. So that would be your artifact in lieu of having to submit the minutes or the agenda or whatever.
okay. So at least it'll be something different. Because I feel like now I'm submitting the same thing over and over again.
Right.
I guess I need to do some more evidence and pictures, but like, for example, yesterday, I was supposed to have a golf match, but it got canceled for the heat yesterday and pushed back to the end. So I went to a meeting right after school with CTE, and I ended up actually presenting about half of the meeting or talking to them about some of this data that we had pulled up, and then next thing I know, right in the middle of it, I asked one of the girls that's in my PLC, why aren't you recording this? I didn't tell her to. So I don't have video. I got to go back and do a better job. So, but I did tell them I think we're meeting again about 2 weeks, that they all have my action plan, and I can present it then to them, and they can video it then.
Yeah. Have you videoed it all, Kayla?
It's a monster. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's like 9 prompts. I did the first 2 last night, and I'm already at like 3 or 4 pages.
Oh, great.
Yeah, because you have to find more research about action plans now, and you have to like align that to what you're trying to do. You have to talk about all your objectives. I reached out today to because this is, well, last year I started kind of in the middle of the year, so this is kind of like my first year starting the school year off year, and I asked, if they have a school improvement plan, because the administration that was hired last year kind of took over and flipped the script and made all the teachers reapply and only hired like 50% of them back. And she's like, no, but we need to do that here in the next couple of weeks. So y'all are helping with that because you're taking this wonderful class, right? And I'm like, no, that's not what, I guess that's what we're doing, because in regards to a long-term goal, that's where you would find that would be in your SIT plan or whatever for your school.
Right. Oh gosh. That's wonderful. Yeah, when she said there were 9 prompts the other day, like with all those separate bullets, I was thinking, okay, task 4 seems like it's going to be even worse than any of the rest, which you said that. So.
Really, it is. It's a lot. I'm not going to lie to you.
Dr. Bullis said it's supposed to get easy after the second one.
They're just, this is motivation, I think. This is like, you can do it. Reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, I'm behind, so I'll probably need through that fall break about 2 weeks from now. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Do my best.
We'll get it done.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I kind of feel better that she's putting all these deadlines early on, just so that we do have time to rework and redo and get stuff turned in before we have to submit it to the state.
See, and I'm a little confused, like with submitting to Dr. Bullis, he said not wait till you have everything done on one of them and approved and submitted before he even looks at the next one. Which
right.
I had been putting those. I put both of them in there for review.
Well, what's confusing about that is on Todd's comments, it says use my comments and his comments and your peer review comments before you resubmit, but then your resubmission is due by Monday, and it's like, well.
Yeah, there's no way to do that.
Right.
To be honest, I've been resubmitting before I even get his comments back, because I don't know what else to do.
Right.
And I have fixed everything she said and everything you guys have said, but thankfully he's not had much serious comments to fix yet. So, but I'm waiting on task 3 because I don't really know, let me pick y'all's brain, and then this thing says our meeting's up in 3 minutes. I guess it has a time limit. I guess it won't let us go past a certain time, but on task 3, like the graphics, Because I honestly just looked through like everybody's paper on task 3 because I put 3 in mine, but I guess like were your graphics that you found graphics actually created from something else, or did you make them?
I only made one of them.
So you made one.
I had to go back and make for task 2 the graphics because all I had was numbers and spreadsheets that they sent me.
Yeah. So it's almost like, I guess, I mean, because I made 2 of my graphics for task 3 and then I found one that worked. But I just wondered like y'all's opinion on that.
Even like with EBOS right now being able to go in, we don't have any access to anything in CTE. Only thing available right now to us at our school is NC Finals and EOG. So
Right.
I had to go get data elsewhere and create my own.
Yeah, which is a pain.
She didn't say anything about my graphics, but when I talked to her on the phone, she said to have graphics that you would explain the importance of, you know, how you're going to meet the most pressing need. It's kind of like you were like not selling it to them, but you're convincing them of the usefulness of these programs or strategies you're going to implement.
Okay. So I think maybe I need to come up with one more then on that. All right. Well, I think our meeting has been beneficial.
Yeah.
Good luck on submitting and doing task 4. And if you guys want to just get in touch, and Matthew, just let us know when you submit your task 3. Like,
Will do.
all right.
All right. Have a great night.
Y'all do too.